Hey guys, and welcome back to Chatting Breeze. As you can see, I'm in my kind of just lounge around, slum around gear right now. So I'm sorry, I didn't make any effort for this vlog. Apologies, but this is kind of au real, au natural situ right now. Today's vlog, I am just gonna chat, just have a little chit chat with you. Guys, my phone just went off, so I cannot remember what I just said. Anyway, I am going to be talking today because I'm going to be talking today. Of course I'm going to be talking today. I'm talking to you right now. I mean in regards to, if anyone has seen, I have a vlog which is my year anniversary vlog, which was amazing. And this is not a, oh, look at me kind of vlog in the slightest, but a little bit of kind of the evolution of what happened, and obviously me kind of being in the relationship that I am now, kind of having a bit of a laugh and a bit of a joke as well, because I feel like sometimes when people see some vlogs and stuff, it's like, oh, everything looks rosy and perfect and just all love like this, but actually it takes a lot of frogs to be kissed before you can get to your Prince Charming. And I'm just going to talk about my frogs, the amount of frogs I had to kiss to get to my Prince Charming. So, going back, rewinding some years, so I was single for around four years. Had a long-term relationship, 10-year relationship, that broke up. Then started going back onto the dating scene and thought, oh, do you know what? Just go on a date, find somebody, this will be easy. Not realizing the game playing that happens, the manipulation that can happen, the narcissists that you can meet. Like, it is real out there, and is got to be said that sometimes some men need to come with a warning label. Not every man, don't get me wrong, there are some very, 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 very decent men out there, but there's also some crazy ass men out there. Like I'm sure there probably is women for the men's side of the viewpoint. But yeah, I'm going to tell you some stories. So one guy I was dating for a very short amount of time. Everything was wonderful, right? Everything was like, couldn't do enough for me, treated me really well, was there to listen consistently, was so engaged with everything. Yeah, just like, I actually thought, oh my goodness, like, I can't believe I found a guy like this. Now, there was a slight little issue. He lived in another country, so I met him when, or I linked up when he was in the UK, and then, but he was only visiting, and then he then went back home. So yeah. As time went on, I went to visit him in his country. He came to see me back in the UK. And then I was like, okay, fine. So he was like, do you know what? This was like long weekends and stuff. That was all fine. Then he said, oh, like, why don't I come for around a week or so? At the time, I was very excited by this. By the end of the week, not so much. I couldn't wait for that aeroplane to come land and go again. The whole week was just horrific. When I say horrific, I literally mean saw another side to a human being which I had never, ever, ever seen before. Like, whenever I've been in a relationship, or if I'd been even in short term, like, you know, relationships, you know, like a few months of dating somebody or whatever else, like, never in my life has anyone screamed or raised their voice to me. Maybe I've just been lucky, I don't know. This is the first time a man had actually been screaming at me. It was an experience and a half, and I was literally counting down the days and wondering if there's any possibility this person could go home quicker than what they arrived. Anyway, the week then played out. It was horrible, and the flight came, waved goodbye. It became very complicated, as in it wasn't just as easy to like finish the situation with this person. I was like a bit worried about just trying to finish it when they were still in this country. So I just really wanted to wait until they had left. And yeah, once they had left, obviously I finished it, and it had to be done. I was just trying to keep like level-headed and cool the whole time. I don't want to go into too much detail because there was stuff that happened kind of at the end, like once it had cooled off and stuff, like it kind of got a little bit obsessive. But I highly doubt this person would be watching any of these vlogs, but I'm a little bit concerned. This was years ago now, by the way. But you know when you almost don't want to trigger somebody? I don't want to, yeah, give as much kind of info as what potentially there is. But even when it ended, it goes to show who that person really was, because their behavior afterwards was obsessive in regards to the fact that you could see that they only wanted things on their own terms. So if they weren't ready to let go of something, or if they weren't ready to finish something, it wasn't finished. It was going to be done when they said it was going to be done. That kind of mentality, which, yeah, that was a learning curve. But actually it genuinely was a learning curve, because then I realized and learned about love bombing, and learned about sometimes what people do in regards to love bombing, and seeing those signs so much quicker when going on a date with someone, and at the pace that they would go at a date. Like normally you go on a date, you speak, yes, if you want to go on a second date, it's a gradual thing, feelings start to, you know, evolve and stuff like that, and it becomes like a gradual situation. When someone is just 100% all in, obsessed, can't do enough for you, like it is all encompassing, that's a red flag now to me. That is a red flag, because it's like, you don't know me. You don't actually genuinely know me. So why? I wouldn't go out of my way like 110% for somebody who I didn't know. Like, no, you've got to earn that right. You've got to earn the right for me to be able to invest in you, invest my time, whether it be finances. I mean, that's a whole different story, which, you know, thank God I've never ever done like that, is in investing in giving someone money who, yeah, is not even a proper relationship. But yeah, just those kind of things. So that was for sure a learning curve. I went on another date with somebody, and I always feel that you can tell a lot by someone when how they treat other people. For instance, when a guy is on a date, they, in a lot of situations, want something from you. I'm not talking about whether it is like, you know, sex or whatever else, but actually, even if they just want something for you, they want your company for the night. They might want your company for another night, you know, in the future. So they are going to put their best foot forward and their show face, their game face on for you, right? But I'm so aware as to, well, hold on, how do you treat people who you are not wanting something from? That tells me who you genuinely are. That tells me the kind of person that you are. For instance, if it's the waiter or waitress or barman or, you know, anything like that, in those kind of situations where you've gone out for a meal or drinks and stuff, yes, you might want a drink from them, but ultimately, you know, you want a quick, instant kind of service. And this particular person was just so darn rude. And we had gone to like a bar and then another bar. And in both establishments, this person was not polite to people. Like, not polite to any of the staff. I was just sitting there, I was just thinking, actually, like, who are you? I thought maybe the first time, I thought maybe he's nervous, tried to give a little bit of benefit of the doubt, although it made me uncomfortable. I mean, he wasn't, let me just get this straight, he wasn't super rude, he wasn't like effing and blinding and stuff, but just very dismissive, very like, I want da da da, no please, no thank you, like, well, I booked this table, so where is it? Like, just very kind of passive aggressive with things. And I just thought, well, actually, further on down the line, that's potentially how you're going to be talking to me. That's potentially how you're going to be treating me, because at the end of the day, when you're in a relationship, it's all lovely at first, but you're going to hit rough times. You're going to sometimes get bored of one another. That's part and parcel of relationships. It goes through ebbs and flows. And so at the point where maybe we're not in the best kind of situation with one another, I'm very aware that that's how you could treat me and how you could talk to me and how dismissive you could probably be with me and maybe my thoughts, feelings and emotions to things. That one didn't go any further. And actually when I started dating, I would go just on the date. So I'd have, you know, some messages and stuff like that. And then if somebody was like, oh, would you like to meet? I was like, and the messages were going well and stuff. I was like, yeah, fine. So, you know, after a few days, and then I'd go, you know, on the date. And then I realized as time was going on, it's like, well, hold on a second. You know, you go on the date and the messages are fine, but then in real life, it's like, you're not talking. There's nothing here to really converse about. Messages, it was such a different situation. So then what I would do is I would want to have telephone conversations with the guy first. So I just wanted to get an essence, like, could we even have a further conversation than just a back and forth on text message? Is there more to say than just what you can possibly write in a message? And this one person I was talking to over message, and then started to have telephone conversations. Oh my goodness. Again, this guy was just on another level. I remember at the time I wasn't particularly enjoying my job, so we'd been talking back and forth for a little bit, and he was like, oh, how's your day going? I was like, yeah, fine, thanks. You know, how's yours? And he was like, yeah, great, da, 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 da. And then he was like, so then he was just asking me about, you know, what was going on in my day and things like that. And I just said, oh, you know, well, it's, you know, it's fine, but such and such. I can't even remember what had happened anyway. But I think an instant, like something had happened. So, you know, I wasn't giving too much information about it because I didn't want to look like, you know, like really super negative or anything, because that wasn't me. But at the time I just really wasn't enjoying that environment. It just wasn't for me in that workplace. And I don't know what the hell happened, like literally from saying like, oh yeah, it's fine, but oh, this happened and it was just a bit awkward with, you know, somebody, or, you know, whatever it was. Literally, he was just like, I can't believe you're talking about your place of work like this. I should ring your, ring the people that you work for, the company that you work for, like, you know, this is disgusting. I was like, what the hell? And then I was like, oh, okay, you know, I'm thinking I'm gonna get off the phone now. And then, and in conversation, I don't know if it's just me or not, but it's a two-way street. You talk, I talk, you talk, I talk. Now, sometimes in life, things, you know, you might interject at the wrong time or the wrong place and you're like, oh, sorry, like, my bad, like, carry on, sorry, I didn't mean to, I thought you had finished your sentence or something like that. It happens, right? I didn't think that this is the craziest thing. I didn't even realize that I had done that. And he was like, you interrupted me as well. I can't believe that you interrupted me. I'm just like, is this, what the hell has happened that you would think that the level that you were going to? I'm always like this. Does what happened warrant the level of maybe your reaction? Like, it has to make sense to me, okay? If you are reacting of me spilling a drink or interrupting you by accident, by the way, not on purpose, to the level of me I don't know, cussing out one of your family members, if you've got no scale and this of what happened here would have the same reaction as this, no, I'm sorry, you're not for me. I can't deal with that. I cannot deal with that like crazy emotional state thing going on. No. No. So yeah, that was the last phone call I ever had with this person. I was like, block. He was actually crazy. And even, I think, I didn't block him initially because he sent me a message afterwards. Like, he actually sent me a message afterwards. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I then blocked. I was like, we're not even doing this. I mean, I have so many stories like this. It's been really almost interesting to a degree of how people behave and how people react to things, and that really figuring out what it is that I was looking for in a relationship, or the kind of traits that I was looking for in a partner. And I knew that I wasn't going to settle, as in there was some fundamental things that I just knew somebody had to have for a relationship to work with me. Now, I'm all for changing and obviously, you know, taking on board what somebody else wants and their needs and things like that. That's just part and parcel of being in a relationship. You're not going to have everything your own way. That's absolutely fine. But I think that the core and the foundation has to be there, and the compatibility has to be there for you to be able to put those layers in and be able to, I don't like the word change, but adapt to obviously your partner, and your partner also doing the same for you. I've been on, gosh, in 4 years, you know, you can go on quite a few dates in 4 years. I was never a serial dater, FYI. I was not the girl who was going on a date every single week. But if I felt like, if I was talking to someone, the phone conversation went well, then yeah, I would absolutely go on a date with somebody. And sometimes, you know, you'd then be dating for someone for 3-6 months, it ends, you know, and then you start the game again. But yeah, there is definitely, and there's been some lovely people who I've also met along the way, and it's just not been right. It's not turned out to be in a romantic way. It's just, yeah, that's just not what's happened in the situations, but they've been so lovely and such courteous people, and yeah, just like really nice human beings, which is also kind of enables you when you do meet the crazies. I'm sure people might shout at me for calling them that, but I mean as in like people who are really emotionally unhinged and probably should not be on the dating scene and trying to be with somebody else before they sort themselves out. Yeah, but I just think that, I just lost my trail of thought, I'm sorry guys. But yes, in the end, I obviously met my partner, who I'm with now, who has been, I hate to say it because I know this is really sickly, but has been everything that I've been wanting and I was waiting for, if I'm going to be honest with you. He literally ticked, I didn't ever have like a box list, I just had the non-negotiables that I knew I wasn't willing to settle for certain things in somebody. Like they had to have certain attributes. I was just like, these are my non-negotiables, everything else I can deal with, like it's not the be all and end all, but these things are really important to me. So family life, what they want in the future, do they want to settle down and get married, do they want to reside in the UK, or do they want to live elsewhere, and if they lived elsewhere, would it be for, you know, do they want to emigrate forever, and you know, all those kind of things, which I just think that, yeah, I just think that if somebody wants that, that's amazing, but I also know that some things just aren't going to be for me, and so there's just no point getting into a situation that feelings grow and then the situation becomes what they've said it is, or they would like for the future, and then you're like, oh gosh, oh, you know, that's awkward. And it's really hard sometimes. I mean, there was this one guy who was really nice, conversation was flowing, really like attractive, what I deem attractive, But he wanted to spend probably another like 6-7 years living in the UK. He was from the UK but living in the UK, and then wanted to, you know, like spend his time elsewhere and live in another country. For me, I'm really close to my family. I have a nephew and stuff who I see all the time, and I just can't envisage my life being in another country unless it's for an amount of time. So say if my work or my partner's work means that for 4 or 5 years we're going to be elsewhere, but we know that we're still going to be coming back at some point, and if it was for the greater good and, you know, all that conversations that would have to happen, maybe at that point, but definitely not to be like, I'm going to move to this country and that's going to be my resting place and where I'd want to raise children and stuff like that. So to each their own. Anyway, I realized, okay, like, as amazing as this person is and as much as I like them, for the instance that you can like somebody, I need to kind of say no to this, because I know it's not going to go any further when their plan is so different from my future plans. Anyway, guys, I kind of wanted to put this vlog together because I just wanted to also give people a little bit of hope. I know that it can be super difficult when you're on the scene, and if you've met some interesting human beings, but yeah, it gets there in the end. And every person that you come in contact is a lesson to your future, is a lesson to actually, these traits aren't good for me, or these traits are triggering, or this is not somebody who these things in somebody is what I would want for my future. And it just enables you to actually filter out so much quicker with somebody, and you'll be like, okay, not for me, you know, and then you can move on, instead of wasting time, you know, 3-6 months with somebody to come to that point when actually, had you have known beforehand, you would have seen the signs straight, you know, at the beginning. So everything is a life lesson, and I truly believe that. Until next time, guys, see you later.